MATLAB comes with a huge selection of built-in functions that you can use to create calculations. There is no way to cover them all, so in this movie, I'll give you a quick overview of some of the most common. I have started MATLAB, and I'm working within a blank command window. One frequent operation that you'll perform is to round numbers, either up or down, based on different criteria that you set. If you always want to round numbers up, then you can use the ceiling function, which is indicated by the keyword CEIL, which is just short for ceiling. Ceiling rounds up any decimal point to the next whole number. So if you were to type CEIL, followed by a left parentheses, and then 14.01, the smallest two-digit decimal you can have, and then enter, you see that it rounds up to 15. Floor is the opposite. It always rounds down. So if you type floor, left parentheses, and let's do 14.99, right parentheses, and enter, you see it rounds down to 14. It's almost the same as the integer operation, where it truncates the decimal. If you want a little bit more control over rounding, then you can use the round function. So just type round, then a left parentheses. You can just enter a number, and it will round any decimal value of 0.5 or greater up to the next whole number. Anything less than 0.5 will be rounded down. So if you round 14.5 with no other arguments and then enter, you see that it goes up to 15. On the other hand, if you round 14.4999 and right parentheses and enter, see that it's rounded down to 14. You can also round to the left or right of the decimal point. So let's say that I want to round the following number. Round, left parentheses, 14.485. And I want to round that to two places to the right of the decimal point. So in other words, if we're using the rules we had before, I want to end up with 14.49. So I'll type a comma, and then the number 2, indicating the number of places to the right of the decimal point, then a right parentheses and enter, and I get 14.49 as expected. You can also round to places to the left of the decimal point, but it's one further to the left than you think it should be. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say that you're rounding the number 175, and then you type a comma, and you type in -2. So what you would expect is to round two places to the left of the decimal point, and it would give you 180. However, if you type a right parentheses and enter, instead you get 200. So what's happening is that it's ignoring the single or units digit, the ones digit. So you have 175. If you round it one place to the left, it would just be 175. So that means that the function starts counting from the second position. So if you type round, then in parentheses 175, comma, -1, and right parentheses and enter, then you get your 180. You can also do modular division, which finds the modulus or remainder of a division operation. So if you do mod, MOD, followed by a left parentheses, and then 176, comma, and then the divisor is 9, type a right parentheses and enter, and you get a remainder of 5. So that means 9 goes into 176 with the remainder of 5, so that looks like 9 times 19, which would be 171. And finally, you might also want to convert between degrees and radians when you're working with circles or other angles. To switch between degrees and radians, use the DG to rad, which is short for degrees to radians. So DG to rad, followed by left parentheses, and let's say that we have 270 degrees. In parentheses, press enter. Oh, sorry, it should be deg to rad. So we have deg to rad, and you can see that MATLAB corrected or offered a correction. Press enter, and it's 4.7124 in radians. You can do the same thing going from radians to degrees, and that is rad to DEG. And then after a left parentheses, type a 3, right parentheses, and enter, and you get 171.8873. Again, these are just some of the functions that are available to you in MATLAB. I'll cover quite a few more elsewhere in the course.